It's just Selena.
It's your boy D.
I'm sorry. We're in a homeroom with Smooth. Class is now in session.
Okay, hi y'all. This is episode number 228 of the Homeroom with Smooth podcast.
Okay.
Always waiting.
Always waiting, yo. Yeah. I kind of like that. We just go rock with always waiting. I like that. Oh, I like that.
Starting off with the giggles, okay.
No, I'll start off. We'll say always
you know
waiting, because I'll tie it in that first subject with Whoopi Goldberg waiting for Diablo 4 to come out on the Mac.
And it ain't gonna happen. It's gonna be next summer before she even see any headway with that.
Oh man. Oh, okay. I guess I'll do that one. So, Diablo 4 just recently released on consoles, so pretty much everything: PC, Xbox, PlayStation, just not the Switch and not Apple's hardware. So Whoopi Goldberg on June 8th, she was really upset because she's like, Diablo 4 is my favorite fucking game. I want to play it. I know there's other shit going on in the world right now, but I just want, I want to play Diablo 4. So it's funny because was it Blizzard? They actually are one of the guys on Blizzard. He actually put for Diablo 4's launch, he tweeted out like, oh, Whoopi Goldberg called me out about Diablo 4. Didn't see that on my bingo card. So he actually acknowledged her tweet on there and everything too. Mm-hmm. And now Whoopi Goldberg wants her money back because she went and she purchased this game and she can't play it. So this, we don't have to get too far in depth in it. Do you think it's more on her or the company because she didn't read all the stats to say that make sure that she was able to use this?
Definitely on her.
I would say it depends on the advertising, because sometimes they blanketly put that out on all platforms thing, and then you find out there's an asterisk there, not on Nintendo Switch, not on this other system. They always, leave that out when doing like that bulk advertising. So I'd love to see that. However, again, when she went onto the Steam store, if she bought it from Steam is very transparent on whether or not that's actually going to work on your system.
I think she did buy it from the Steam store because that's how you buy it on. That's how you buy it on PC. Now the other thing is that she wants her money back, and it's funny because this is Whoopi Goldberg. So obviously she has some money, has a pretty net worth. If she wants to play this game because it's her all-time favorite game, she could buy a $300 Xbox in the game. She could buy, a PlayStation, a PS5, or that's the thing. She played on Xbox One or PS4 as well too. So there's all these things. She has all these options, and now she's going to worry about, wanting her money back, as you see right here. So what do you guys think about that? Do you think she's just being silly at this point, or what do you guys think?
Man, is she being silly? Like just gone ahead and wait till December so you can cash in on your color purple money. All right. Because you finna cash. She's finna cash.
Yeah, I think she's being silly too. I agree.
Yeah, because at this time she has it. She should just go ahead and just take the L.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think. Like, I do get it because there's certain things like in games like what Smooth said. It's like, hey, I didn't read the advertising. You made a mistake. I'm not sure what is the about her getting a refund and stuff like that too. I'm not sure about that too, because sometimes it might be the Steam store, and I know if she just goes to Steam and said, "Hey, I bought this game. I thought it was gonna be out for Apple, and it's not," they'll usually refund it. So I think it's kind of funny that she's jumping all these chains to get this refund, because I think if she really needed the refund and told him like, hey, this is what's going on, she would have got the refund instead of calling out Blizzard. But I think it's trivial because, like I said, it's Whoopi Goldberg. She is not hurting. If she really wanted the game, there's all these options. She could play this game if it's truly her favorite game, and she could spend $250 and play this fucking game.
Yeah, she don't gotta drag their name like that.
Yeah,
she has a lot of power. So Yeah.
Yeah. Because if I really want to play this game, Char, I could send you a PS4 right now, which is like under $200, and this game that's and if I buy it used, it'll be like that. So I could give you this whole thing for $200 and be like, hey, Char, play Diablo with me, and you'd be able to play it. So if I'm able to do it, Whoopi Goldberg's able to fucking do it.
Yeah,
Okay, this
she's
has been
being a grumpy old woman. Well, I won't say old. 67 is not old, but older woman.
Yes.
So in other related news, okay, our favorite NBA basketball player, Morant, finally got suspended for 25 games without pay, okay, for waving another gun on Instagram Live. He just can't seem to help himself. His team's lie was that, oh, it's a gun that's a lighter. The thing is, you weren't waving it around like it was a lighter. You weren't using it like it was a lighter in the video. You know what I'm saying? And you kind of hid it once you realized you went on live. You know what I'm saying? Because you felt like you was guilty. And then you came out with the lie like 2 months later. Like, how do you come up with that? That's your lie. 2 months later. You could have put that statement out immediately. Yo, hey, I know what it looks like. It was a gun that's a lighter. You know what I'm saying? Let me show you guys. You didn't put the video out till months later. That means you had to go order it on Amazon. You know what I'm saying? To kind of like make your lie look good. And so yeah, he put out the video. I think he's dumb. I think he deserved more time than 25 games. You know what I'm saying? Of the season. I felt like it should have been like 40. I really wanted to miss about half the season. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, y'all got to make an example of this dude because he's clearly not learning.
You're better than me. I wanted 82.
Whew. Whew. Shit.
Yeah, I think this dude is clearly reckless and doesn't care. And I think it depends on how much he loves basketball. Because some people who they've always wanted to do that their whole life, like they eat, breathe, and sleep basketball. So 25 games, depending on how much he loves basketball, is probably torture for him. So I think I'm glad that he got some kind of punishment. And hopefully this punishment, it sinks in what he did. Hopefully. But I agree. He definitely did a poor job of explaining that it was a lighter. That's all he had to do in the first place. So the fact that you didn't lets us know that you wanted it to appear as a gun. So, yeah, everything here seems like carelessness to me.
Like I said, I want 82 games. Just because he's being a dumbass. One right there, it shows that it's not affecting him; it's also affecting his team. I think the Grizzlies they did a poor job at dealing with this in the first place, so which is why it happened again. Regardless of the fact that it's a lighter, it's whatever. It's in his position. A lot of it is perception, and left unchecked, they kept on doing it, and that's the thing. In sports, especially in sports, you have tolerance and based on production. And because he was producing, they were letting him do whatever he wanted, and they said it's okay. And they kept on doing that because like his first suspension, they were like, "Oh, we're doing this, and then it might be 8 games, but we're still gonna pay him, and he's gonna go do this." So he went through this rehabilitation thing, and because since he was producing, they tolerated him self-destructing his life. And everybody's saying that it's not okay, and that's why this time the league had to step in. And honestly, I think the league should have made an example out of him and say give him 82. So you're not only hurting the player and their income and their endorsements and stuff like that too, you're also hurting the team. And a 1 year, it wouldn't be a death sentence to him because he'd still come out and be able to play the next year. But it shows that hey, we're not playing around. And then the next person who wants to try to act gangster on IG Live or TikTok or social media or any one of these individual platforms, it's hey, think twice because guess what happened to Morant? And I really think that's what they should have done. And plus, they would have given him a year to go ahead and reflect, because if not, guess what? Because there's another player that in a different league that did a bunch of stupid shit, and he left unchecked, and they let him leave the league, and he hurt himself, and now like he can't even play arena football, and that's Antonio Brown. So if you keep on letting him spiral like this, unchecked, it's going to get to that range.
Facts, and I feel like they should have took into consideration for the suspension his other behavior too,
Oh
because
yeah,
he had been doing so much already. Like
yeah,
you beat up a kid on the court or flashed a gun at a kid on a basketball
yeah.
court. That was
He punched up.
recorded.
Yeah, he punched the
You
minor. He punched the minor playing a
yeah,
pick a game of basketball. I'm like,
yeah,
dude, that's like me playing with fucking Paul George, out here, and he gets mad because I hard foul him, so he goes and punches me in the face. I'm like,
yeah.
really?
Like you know what basketball is. You know those fouls they're coming, man. And then you had the Foot Locker incident where they ran up there because his mom felt disrespected by some dude, and they went up there with the whole goon squad to include Ja Morant, talking
Yeah.
about some where's that kid? Bring him outside. We trying to see him. I'm like, he's a kid. He's 17.
Maybe that's his issue because Ja Morant thinks he's still freaking a kid and wants to roll around and play with kids, and that's just the thing that's just really really bad. It's like, hey man, and it's like know where you're at. And the thing is, you sign, and like the sad thing about the Foot Locker stuff and this one is after he signed his contract, so like he really doesn't need to. Like if his mom, like the thing, your mom felt disrespected because you couldn't get what you wanted at Foot Locker. It's like buy the Foot Locker or buy something off of Amazon and have it delivered to her fucking house.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You can go to any of those sneaker apps, get plenty of shoes. You ain't gotta do nothing.
You can have someone else go ahead and buy it for her and deliver it to that. Like go like that's the thing. Like you're like Foot Locker's not the hood, and you didn't grow up in the hood either. So stop trying to be a hood because what's gonna happen is one day someone's gonna test him out and like it's like and they're gonna be like, you think you're about this life? We're gonna see, and he's gonna get himself hurt or he's gonna get someone else hurt, and either way his life's over.
Yep, done. Get that boy out the NBA.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's Ja Morant. We hope that you stop being stupid. Okay, a lot of people's lives and livelihood are actually dependent on you. Because you're the guy that made it out.
Yeah.
So just
He wasn't even
be
in.
positive.
He wasn't even in like that. That's I mean, if you look at his freaking upbringing, he was not in. So
Well, I mean, out of the impoverished area,
he
like
wasn't.
he's the
He
no, but
wasn't.
he's the rich friend. He's the rich friend, and his friends need him to survive.
Yeah, but that's the thing. He wasn't in this poverty-stricken state. Like he was like that. John Moran had a good upbringing. Like, and that's the thing. And when I say that he should be suspended, I think he solely should be suspended for being a fucking dumbass. So because I know like before people, it's like, oh, he didn't do anything illegal. He didn't do this. He didn't do that. It's like, no, you need to be suspended for being a fucking dumbass twice, because you already know they said, hey, this isn't good. Do not wave any gun paraphernalia on any social media platform. And he did it again, which is why, and that's what I mean. He should be. I solely believe he should be suspended just for being a dumbass. Because I'm not saying he didn't break any rules like that too. And that's the thing, when you're in a position like he is in, extra rules that aren't fair apply to you. As with any job, with anything you're in there, and anything you do, you got extra stuff placed upon you. So that's why I'm solely saying he should be suspended just for being a fucking dumbass, because he was already warned. And he's like, I'm gonna fucking do it again.
Okay. Well, Shar, I'm gonna let you take this one. You know what I'm saying? Like, so what happened here? What happened here?
Okay, so Jackie O, who is, I believe his name is DC Young Fly's wife, decided she wanted a mommy makeover. She has, I want to say they have 3 kids, 3 or 4
Yeah,
kids.
they have three children.
And she decided she wanted some cosmetic surgery, like a mommy makeover. And she went in for the surgery and died during the surgery. It's really sad, and so it's been a week or so ever since this happened. And so the plastic surgeon who performed the surgery releases this statement. I don't know if you want me to read it, but it says,
Oh yeah, yes, for the people, because you got to realize the audio people, they cannot see this.
okay, so to all my past, current, and prospective patients, PH1 Miami remains devoted to the highest quality medical care. All aesthetic procedures are performed in a hygienically safe environment to universally recognized medical standards. I am relentlessly committed to advancing techniques in the realm of plastic surgery. Most importantly, my staff and I ensure that each patient is vetted, prepped, and treated according to their individual patient history prior to any surgery. Our mission is to help our patients achieve the best possible results in the safest and most medically appropriate way possible. Dr. Zach, I believe it says okhah. All right, so there's a couple of things I'm going to share. One, this statement is very generic to me.
Mm-hmm.
There's no we apologize, and I understand like so any kind of surgery you have, there's always there's a risk factor with any surgery. But they always go through and you have to sign the paperwork and stuff, right? So that's that's just unfortunately a guarantee with any kind of surgery you're getting. So I understand that apologizing perhaps can come across as, oh, you did it right. But I think there's also a way to apologize just in general to the family, like our condolences to the family. We're so sorry for what happened here. And then go into this statement. You know what I'm saying? But like there's none of that. So when I immediately read this statement, I was just like, that's it. That's all you're going to say. And then I started talking to like people who are familiar with medical law and how the law stuff and stuff. And they basically said he can't say much more in case the family wants to sue him. So if he says, "Hey, we apologize" or anything of that nature, that's something they can use against him. Regardless, the entire situation is very sad. And I've seen quite a few debates and heated discussions about the fact that, oh, she didn't need surgery. Oh, why did she get surgery in the first place? And I'm just sick and tired of seeing those kind of conversations because everyone has the right to get surgery. There's complications with everything that you do in life. And so to say, oh, she didn't need it, like you don't know, and you also don't know what women deal with after having kids. Like your body is not ever the same. Like some women never like their body ever again after having kids. And so there could have been things that she was battling with that she just wanted to go get some cosmetic surgery to fix it to feel better about herself. Like that's not any of our business. I'll stop there and let you all take over.
Yeah, okay, so I'll just go. So how I feel about it is I do feel like there should have been some statement toward like something just something like, you know what I'm saying. We're sorry for the loss of your significant other. That could have been it. Like, you know what I'm saying. You're not taking responsibility for anything. You're just saying, hey, you know what I'm saying, I'm sorry that she's not here anymore. We don't know why that happened. We don't know if it's your fault. We don't know if it's my fault, but you know what I'm saying, her own fault. Like, you know what I'm saying, but we want to apologize. That's genuinely what I think they should have did. Like that statement read to me like, yo, we still want business. Like, please don't stop coming into our office. You know what I'm saying? We're the best. We the best. Even though we got a casualty, we the best. And that's all I got to say about that. That's it.
Think what Char said, it's really, really hard to, because if you apologize for something, then it's like, oh, we're admitting fault. And I know that's the thing that they can't do. I do wish that in a way, because unfortunately, it sucks because everybody has to protect their bottom line and their business. So it sucks that they can't. It seems like there should be a way, but I don't know. There should be a way for them to directly address the incident and say, hey, and even without saying sorry, at least acknowledging it and then going on stating that all the risk and everything. So that does really suck. But now, unfortunately, it seems like the statement made it worse because now they give people a platform to argue, kind of what Char was saying, that she needed surgery, she didn't need surgery, this and back and forth, and we're kind of pivoting away from the main case. But it seemed like they had to go out there, and so this is a way for them saying that, hey, guess what? This wasn't our fault. Which, and that's the thing, we don't know what happened. We really don't know what happened, and they could have discovered something on the table as well too. And so it's a way of saying, hey, this wasn't our fault. But unfortunately, by doing this, it creates all these new discussions, whether if she needed it or not, she should have been happy with her body, this and that, blah blah blah, which is kind of messed up. And then also, and now we're getting rid of that human element too, because like I said, because now they give them their condolences. They say, hey, this unfortunate event happened. All surgeries, because even they said that unfortunately, if they acknowledge this event and they said it happened, but and our practice is safe, this and that too. There's always risk in surgery and everything like that too. Then they're saying, oh, there's a risk, and then it goes in because then the other family's lawyers and be like, oh, well, if you knew about this risk, why did you still perform it? And then it goes into all that other fun stuff, which is why you got this really generic statement, and I almost feel like it made it worse. But then they're kind of pressured that they had to say something, and it just sucks because I feel like we're lacking human empathy.
Yeah, yeah. I honestly, I because the thing is, initially he like either made his his Instagram private, or he turned off the comments. He did something like that initially, and
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, if you ain't got nothing to hide, honestly, and you want to like your business to like, in my opinion, I think the better thing is to just leave everything open and leave everything just alone and as is. Uh,
But when you see that
that's
though, like, because I do get that. I do get turning stuff off, even if you're felt like that, because people who don't know, one, they don't know any better, and they don't know what's going on. They get an opinion off of a headline, and they will go and be inflammatory. People that know stuff like that too, they'll start throwing out addresses and everything like that too. So that is a form of protection, because I've seen it, because I've seen it when some like say, and this was me with and this was when I was smaller on my social media following. Some dude got upset because he thought I stole his picture and started
mm,
throwing all this shit on my page, and that's over a picture. So imagine like if I did something and someone got hurt, and people
mm,
go through on that, and then say like they start throwing information out there, so they attack. And then my old dude, my old friend Josh, like he got pulled off
mhm,
of Twitch because he was all pissed off and everything like that too, and then he started throwing out my address and everything like that too. So like Twitch actually banned him, and he can't go back on Twitch. So I understand doing preemptive measures to stop that stuff. So I don't really fault them. So even if you have nothing to hide, people, they don't read all the facts, or people, they feel a certain way, and they said, oh, and then they want. Unfortunately, until it happens to you, you want everything to be resolved in the public eye.
yeah,
Until you're the one on trial, and then it was handled, and it's like, oh, it's a private matter, and they're like, oh, well, like that too, because unfortunately, sometimes the court of a public opinion, freaking, matters more than the actual court. So I understand turning that off to limit people's access to throw inflammatory information out at you and harming you and your family. Because I do know, even if I did something super small and say, hey, I got in a car accident with somebody, right? And then
mhm,
and then it ruptured something else. So the car accident didn't freaking do anything to him, but something else ruptured like that in the car accident. So it wasn't like that too. So now people, if they're saying, hey, I'm responsible for this person's death, even though it was indirectly and I'm not, but people start going on my page, and then they start trying to attack me and my family, like I am, we're gonna have some issues. So I would do stuff like that to prevent that, because even though, and someone's not trying to, that's the thing, someone's not trying to go ahead and have harm to my family. They just want their justice, right? But other shit
mm,
happens, so he's protecting that. So I don't fault him for that at all, because people out there, they're crazy, and they do things without thinking of consequences, because now they're not looking at him as a human, they're looking at him as this faceless organization now too. It's like, no, he's a human, he has family, he has all this stuff like that too, and he's working, and he probably feels,
mm,
hopefully, but he probably does, because I don't know him, he probably feels really bad about what happened too, and he's probably losing sleep about this as well too. And that's what I mean,
mm,
we lose this human element.
Okay, so what was the last one?
Well,
I
wait, before we move on now, I
I'm
just want
sorry.
to say, I hope that they get to the bottom of whatever happened. I don't know if they're going to be sharing what happened, or if they already know what happened, but I do
Mhm,
hope, for the sake of I know that brings a sense of closure to people who lose their loved ones. So I pray that they figure it out. And I just want to stress again that there's just unfortunately risks that come along with getting surgery. There's risks with everything in life. You can when you're driving, you get hit by a car. You're flying, you can be in a plane crash. Like there literally is a risk for everything in life.
Man. Yeah, the plane was shaking a lot, like on my way here to St. Louis, like an unusual amount. And I was like, hey, I was like, come on, man. Then I started to get this weird, like tingling sensation in my leg. It started to itch. I'm like, yo, is this it? Is this it? Is this me? Like, I'm like, come on, man. Not going to St. Louis.
Final destination.
I've definitely been on my share of flights where I just knew it was my last day on Earth. Definitely. There was one particular flight I was on, and it was on the way to Houston. And for some reason that day, the weather was just bad going to Houston. And that plane dropped like, oh my God, it dropped in the sky. And the whole entire plane looked at each other like, what the? Because, you know, like sometimes you'll be on planes and you feel turbulence and nobody else looks bothered. So you're like, okay, it's just me. This particular flight, everybody on the plane jumped like, what's going on? We were all holding on to our I definitely been some scary ass flights.
Just get the scream.
I can't stand going through a storm in a plane. That is like the worst feeling ever.
I'm used to it now. I'm like riders on the storm.
As much as I've flown, like extra shaking. Like I'm just like, yo, like there's some stuff I shouldn't feel. You know what I'm saying? Like I shouldn't feel us like we feel like we're in the ocean and we're like swaying through the air. Like that should not be a thing. Like we should not be rocking through the air.
I think I've been on so many planes, and especially like non-commercial planes, that I just like it doesn't bother me anymore now. So, but I do it. But if I only flew commercial, I would probably feel the same way. But since I've been in some shit on non-commercial airlines, you know, and then I'm like, yeah, okay. Like until Eddie, like, you know, like the only time like there's certain airports where I know like they're like when they land, they're like fuck it, like we're landing, like do you want like a second approach or anything? Because like sometimes like even like coming like from LA too, where like they'll just like land like in anything, and I'm like, you know what, you could take like another approach. Or landing like in crosswinds. Have you ever landed like in a crosswind?
I think so.
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah.
When the plane is trying to go
no, it's not even that. I feel like when the plane is like you're landing this way, and then as soon as you hit the ground, like you like lurch over.
Yeah.
Because you know, I'm like, so that's the only thing that gets me. Because I'm like you could have tried again, man. Like you could have tried again. Like not, but they're the professional, so I can't tell them how to do their job. But I'm like, for my comfort, you could have tried again.
Yeah, man. You feel like you're about to, you know what I'm saying, go Tokyo drifting in a
Pretty much.
You know, in a Boeing 737. You over there swinging down the runway. So what was the last topic? I forgot, y'all. I really did.
It was something we were gonna laugh at. Oh wait, he did the last topic first.
Yeah, it was
we did Whoopi. We did.
Whoopi was supposed to be the last topic.
Yeah. And we just did it first because I made that the
no. There was something else because there was four things. There was four things. Ended up being four things we're gonna talk about. What was it? So it was Whoopi, Ja, this, and Tyler Perry. Yeah. There we go. Shout out to Tyler freaking Perry. Man, my brain is like hurt. But yeah, shout out to Tyler Perry. Shout out to BET being black owned for the first time in like, what is it, 20, 30 years again? Since it was sold the first time. Well, and we got VH1.
I just want to say, I'm so happy that black people own the network again.
Did he buy it though? Because
yes.
I'm hearing like
he bought it. He owns it.
He now owns two networks.
I'm hearing like different reports though.
No, he owns it now.
He owns it.
I personally am not a fan of Tyler Perry's work, but I respect his hustle. I respect this man came from nothing and owns 2 TV networks and is worth a gazillion amounts of money to the point where he was able to send security to Meghan and Harry when his family disowned him and let them live in his house for months. Like that's some real power. So I am proud of him in that aspect. I
Yeah,
love it.
that boy.
I don't watch BT like that anymore, but I'm happy that it's not owned by a white person anymore.
Hey, I might tune in. Like if they change up the programming back to like something regular, because when I was growing up, it was fire. Like if they get the programming back to normal, shoot, I'm I'm gonna tune in. I'm gonna tune in just to show love. And then and then we got VH1 too. So that's like I'm like, dang, we got the Video Music Awards, we got the little Spaceman, we got all that, stuff now. You know what I'm saying? Like we rocking, we back rocking.
We love to
You know what
I
I'm
see it.
saying?
I just hope they forward think it and make it more accessible, and also it goes into their to their online content, because unfortunately broadcast TV is dying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I said I hope they do they do more things and make it more accessible, and get it into the heads of everybody else, so it actually means something. But that's just me being a negative Nancy. So
I mean, but yeah, I mean, yeah, they have the resources now. You
yes.
know what I'm saying? To actually like make something like actually good of this. You know what I'm saying? They can actually put out like powerful, impactful content that would make people want to actually tune in. Like, give us something to watch. Because I remember BET used to always have something worth watching when it wasn't one of reruns of movies. There was
Yeah.
something worth watching. You know
See,
what I'm saying? 'Cause
so
if I
I
see
hope it's
Friday one
not
more
like
time, I
A
promise
Tyler
I'm
Perry. I hope it's not a Tyler Perry syndication, because I know, because he did have the because I know, because he owned 25% of it beforehand, because of that deal with Paramount. So
Mm.
he's been in the BET thing for ecosystem for a while. So
Oh yeah, man. If he like I wouldn't mind I wouldn't mind if he put some of his better shows on there, like as far as like rerun
mm,
content that like space fillers, but
mhm.
then like some new original content. Like he has a whole like studio down there and all that. Like they have the resources combined with his own resources to like really make some good original
So here's
content and keep their costs low so they can actually like invest and actually make some stuff.
my only concern, because and I'm not hating on him, but I find
Hmm.
the quality of his shows to look very low budget. And I don't know if it's because he has so many that they're just like spitting out stuff, or if it's like the quality of the tools they're using. But to me, I've watched like a couple episodes of Sisters, and it just seems very low budget. And
I will answer that.
my only um, my only hope for BT is that the quality gets better. Because I'm going to assume that if you now own a new network, that means you have access to more actors, to more resources to be able to produce better content, Um, and because we all know, like, like Tubi, we all know that Tubi is trash, and you're guaranteed to see a movie where you can see the cameraman who's actually shooting the video, the movie in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's what Tubi is known for. We don't want BT to
Mm.
be known for that.
Well, Tyler Perry has always been known to have a low budget production, and this is even his from the movie standpoint, to have low budget films that overperform. So that's his style. So if you're seeing that way, unfortunately, I don't see the quality going up, because unfortunately everything's for a profit. And the thing is that even if his movies don't break records in the box office, they're always really successful in the profit margin. And I think that goes to his TV shows, which is why he was able to get into the position to make these acquisitions in the first place. So, and it's kind of like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So I still see that um going down that path for a while, because that's literally what he's known for, and everything too. So to answer the question on that one, I don't see it, at least right away, for a while. And like, I'm not sure about BET's financials and everything of what they need to do, because I'm not sure if they're over, under, and what they're doing as well. Because sometimes I think like kind of like MTV to a point too. Um, sometimes they're going off of the cloud of what they used to be to bring people in. And so if they're upside down, they might need them just to go ahead and make some money first before they can address other things.
Yeah, and again, as long as it's more new original programming, you know what I'm saying? I'm for it. Like I don't want to see reruns. I don't.
Yeah, I think unfortunately, like I say, we have to look at them, but it might be that way. It might be the Tyler Perry network until they stabilize and get other stuff too. So, like I said, we will see. Like I said, I like new original content, but sometimes that doesn't bring people in, especially if you're going for like a niche audience too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just think they just have to be more clever about how they market their stuff. They have to be more clever because I think BET's thing is like they don't have brand awareness outside of the BET Awards. Like I don't hear about BET.
Yeah,
I don't.
I agree.
It doesn't even exist. It's not even a network anymore. It's just like, oh, there's this thing that we used to have. So I feel like if they're able to do that, get profitable, start like getting a marketing budget, I think things might go a little differently. You know, get some new interns in there, running the social media pages. You know, push some new content out there and really like try and engage with the masses the way that they exist now. I think they can really like they have a big opportunity because there's a blank space. There's a space for there to be a BET that actually does something that's worthwhile, something that's worth watching, something that the community will tune into.
Yeah. Well, here's to hoping for better.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Let us bow our heads in prayer. No, I'm kidding. But on a serious note, so we talked about BET. What's on VH1?
I haven't watched VH1 in years. I couldn't tell you.
I haven't watched VH1 either.
Okay, same. I have no idea. Like we got VH1 as a part of this. I'm like, damn, it seemed like that's the redhead stepchild they were just trying to get rid of.
Well, I think
I'm a streamer girl, so if it's not Netflix, Hulu, those kind of services, I honestly can't tell you these days.
Yeah, BT need to come up with an app. They probably already got one, but they ain't.
They might, yeah. You know,
so
like
they're gonna have BET Plus, and it's gonna have VH1 in there.
I feel like Peacock is kind of it's kind of like BET. You ever watch Peacock? I watch Bel Air in there.
Yeah,
kind of like they're kind of similar to they're for us, and they're app only.
Well, no, because I think because that's a thing but that's universal forward thinking, and because Peacock falls under that universal Comcast forward thinking, and I do think they saw the lack of availability of what people wanted, and then they bring out the actors that go ahead that I guess for lack of a better term made it out of that ecosystem of just like the black only roles. And then now they're putting content in there and going back and forth, because I know like with that and Blackish and Grownish and everything like that too, with what they were doing. So they're making a market, shows for minorities, but then they bring in everyone too as well, and then they're kind of building in that with that ecosystem.
Coco Jones, I love you.
Yeah, Coco Jones is amazing. I wasn't really hip to her before Bel Air. Oh my God, that girl can sing.
Yes, I was like, she looked amazing. Look amazing. I was like, yeah, I'm like, let me get 2 orders of dark chocolate, please. You know what I'm saying? Like, please, two whole scoops. Yes, I'm lactose intolerant. I do not care. Feed me the chocolate.
Yeah, and she was like a Disney Channel person too.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was on Disney. I don't remember what she was on, but
right after my day, because I know she's younger, so
yeah, she's younger like that too. So like she is just like freaking
Coco. Do you love me? Are you riding?
Oh man. but yeah. So We will see. We will definitely see. It should be an interesting time in BET. I think I have some of both of your guys' concerns. You guys seem a little more optimistic than I do about this acquisition because I'm just so I'm sorry to be that downer because Charles like I want this. I'm like Tyler Perry doesn't fucking do that. So it's like, oh, I want this. I'm like,
I'm just
yeah,
saying that's my hope.
yeah. Well, and I'm just saying, basing off of history and what he does, and I do know that for what he's known like in the box office as well too. That all his films are successful. So even if they don't, because I don't think he hasn't had many number ones in the box office, but they make back their because even like with the low opening, they make back their budget that first opening weekend. They have a pretty long shelf life. People will go in and see it and then it makes money back and then some. So they're like, oh, so then even though like they're not making box office records, it's like, oh, they're highly profitable, and that's what Tyler Perry is known for, and that's why he's a success, and that's why that's why there's so many freaking like Medea movies and everything too, because it's
Yeah,
like
he has it. He has an audience. Like it's the aunties and the grandmas that love him.
well it's a lot of people, but the main thing
Like
is
I'm
that
saying that's his main
yeah
audience who are going to
yeah
keep buying stuff. So that's why he has a good income.
yeah.
Whatever.
No. Yeah, but it's also it's income because like he produces stuff under budget, like way under budget, and then they way overperform. Because I think even if he lost that audience, like that's what I mean. It's like, oh, because like Transformers made freaking 60 million like its first week, and it's freaking considered a failure because like the opening budget was like 125 freaking like that too. Tyler Perry movies, they make 60 million through its whole gross run, but he produced it for 5 million.
Yeah. That's you got a good point there. So to recap everyone, so we talked about
Whoopi is
Whoopi
pissed.
Goldberg, Whoopi
Whoopi
Goldberg
is
and Diablo
pissed.
4 being pissed. Okay, that
Who's
she
gonna give her
bought the
money back?
wrong
Or sorry,
edition.
Steam,
You know what I'm
give her her
saying?
money back.
She probably ain't getting that money back. I mean, she's too rich, man. Then we got DC the doctor of Jackie O's doctor making a horrible statement that he really shouldn't have made. He could have just said nothing, but I guess we kind of understand like why he had to make a statement, even though he really shouldn't have made a statement as far as public opinion is concerned. If you're not going to be like, I'm sorry, we don't want to hear it. Then we have John Morant being an absolute fucking dumbass per usual. I mean, it's on brand at this point.
Kick him
Like,
out. Kick him out for a year. He needs to do some self-reflection.
yep. And then we had talked about Tyler Perry, okay, buying BET, getting VH1 as part of some weird package deal. All right. And now we're going to see what the future holds for Black entertainment television.
And that's that.
Yeah. Do you guys have anything you guys want to, say or shout out or anything going on special?
No.
Juneteenth's coming up, so at least I'm everybody. It doesn't matter what you are.
I'm proud.
Just read up on it, learn some stuff about it too. Seeing why it's significant. And that's something everybody, because I do know Black people who don't know the meaning of it, white people like that too. So let's just all read up on it, so it's not just a day off that we have on the calendar.
I'm black, y'all. I'm black, y'all. I'm bleedy, bliggity, bliggity, black. Yeah, no, sorry, I couldn't resist.
And
go ahead, Char.
I was gonna say, and happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there.
Oh yeah. Shout out to you, Frankie. You know what I'm saying?
We the ones. Also, but I guess for
shout
me,
out to my ghost children.
my ghost children.
Oh.
For me, I think next week. So speaking of Black people on Juneteenth and everything, so a bunch of my friends in the roller coaster community, we are highlighting people of color. So we are all meeting up in Atlanta, and we're gonna go ride some coasters and show that there's Black photographers, content creators, professionals in this space. So if you're in Six Flags Over Georgia, I will see you guys there. So that should be a lot of fun.
Great. That's wonderful. I'm for all of that, man. But yeah, y'all. This has been episode number 228. Always waiting. Shout out to you, Jazz, because you got drunk. Yeah, I wasn't gonna end the episode without talking about you. So yeah, you know what I'm saying. You got drunk. You know what I'm saying. You hit me up earlier. I appreciate you hitting me back. You know what I'm saying. We'll see you soon. We'll see you next week. We up out of here.